everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 191. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, and hand-dyeing yarn in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from and I live, and I, as always, am just super psyched that you are here to chat about all the crafty things with me. And I have got a show for you this week, guys. I'm a day late. Reason being, it was just impossible because the city decided to repave our street. So there was a lot of noise happening, and podcasting would have been like nails on a chalkboard. I spared you guys of that. So coming to you a day late. But anyway, like I said, I have a show and, lots to talk about, and there is a little bit of noise still happening outside. Somebody decided to hire a plumber and is having something drained, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday, so I apologize if you do hear a little something. But we're gonna go with it. And yes, so admin stuff. What do I have to talk about? Giveaway prizes. Yes, the WILDESMEER shawl knit along has ended. It ended April 15th, and if you're not familiar, that is the shawl right there. It's a pattern that I designed, modeled by lovely Margot. Doesn't she look lovely, folks? But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who purchased the pattern and participated in the knit along, and it was just so wonderful. Yeah, I say this every week, but it was just so wonderful seeing all of your different versions and takes on it. And I want to mention Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick podcast. If you haven't checked out her podcast, please do. She is wonderful. She's hilarious, and I love keeping up with her every week. And she just makes me laugh, puts a smile on my face every week. And she knit a WILDESMEER shawl, and I love the way it turned out. She did this, she did something totally unexpected, which is one thing she does, and I love about her. She takes a lot of risks with her knitting, just mixing different colors and everything, she got to a point when she was knitting her shawl, and she's like, I might be playing yarn chicken with the applied border, so I'm going to do a little something, unexpected, and, sorry, I just shake the table, I'm going to do a contrasting applied border, but not like you would imagine. She did half the border in the main colorway, and then when she got to the halfway point of the applied border, she switched colors to a contrasting purple and did the rest. And I have to say, I love the way it looks on her when she models it. It's just the way she wraps it around like a bandana, and then the purple, you see half the purple on this side of the point, and then the rest of the purple on this side of the point. It just creates this cool, like, asymmetrical effect. I don't know. I have to post a link to her project, but it looks really, really cool. And I apologize if the table shakes because I'm sitting cross-legged on my chair, and it's a swivel chair, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but the floor is slightly sloped back in our house, so this was bad, like, when we first moved in, because my chair would just continually roll back. But this one, like, the wheels, I grabbed this from Dennis's office, and, like, the wheels don't really move as much, but because it has a swivel, I turn this way if I don't stabilize myself, or I should probably put one foot down on the ground. Anyway, I digress. But yes, we have knit along winners, and I used a random number generator on random.org. So trust me, I was very fair with this, and I chose 4 winners. We have 4 prizes to give away, and let me get to those. By the way, I just want to mention that we have a YarnGasm Ravelry group, which if you have not joined, please do. Lots of chatter, lots of lively conversation happening in there, and it's the best way to participate in the knit-alongs that we have going on for YarnGasm. So just FYI. But yes, I closed that thread, the WILDESMEER knit-along thread, and chose 4 winners using random.org, and those winners are, well, let me get the prize first. Okay, so the first prize I don't have to show you because I didn't make it yet, but the first prize is 1 skein of Voolenvine yarns, my hand-dyed yarn, on Volca, in a colorway of your choosing, which is a lovely merino nylon cashmere, 4-ply fingering weight. And yeah, so the first winner of that is number 289, Nicole's Needlework, and she used nice and knit fingering weight in the High Tide colorway in this really gorgeous blue-green colorway. If you have not, I will post links to the actual projects because you guys have to take a look at these. They're stunning, and hers in particular was really beautiful, and just like this really muted blue green, just really lovely. So congrats, Nicole's Needlework. Thank you so much for participating, and I loved your finished object. And the next giveaway prize is, let me see, let me get it over here, is this lovely skein of Wolf and SCHAFE yarns, hand dyed by the lovely Magdalena of the Wolf and SCHAFE podcast, which if you have not checked out, please do. She's lovely, and again, another podcast I love keeping up with. She sent me, I have a skein, not this colorway, but I have a similar skein that she dyed, and I have to say her colorways are really beautiful. So here you go. This is her Howl base in the colorway Vodnik, and it's 400 meters and 437 yards, and 75% superwash merino and 25% tussa silk. So squishy. And the winner of that is number 178, JPKNITKNOT, and you knit your WILDESMEER out of Knit Picks Hawthorn in the Turkish Delight colorway, which is this gorgeous hot pink, tonal hot pink. It's absolutely beautiful. It does look like a Turkish Delight, one of those candies. Anyway, if you haven't seen them, but it's just really beautiful. So congrats. And the next prize that we have to give away is this really awesome bag by Jody of Mrs. Brown's Bags. She generously donated this gorgeous project bag to one of you lucky viewers, and it comes with a little tiny kitty stitch marker, and here's her her logo, her business card, and it comes with a little mini skein as well. And the cool thing about this bag is that she photographed a swatch of yarn and then turned it into fabric, which I think is brilliant. So I have one as well, and her bags, I have to say, are very well, very well made. So thank you so much, Jody, for this generous donation. And the winner of this is number 214, BRIWOY, who I believe is from Germany. So she knit her WILDESMEER out of, I don't know the type of yarn, but it's this really awesome lime green neon color, and which I thought was, I have to knit with more neons, you guys. It just seems so fun, I don't know, but I love the way hers turned out as well. So congrats, you win this awesome prize. And last but not least, we have the Tangled SKEIN project bag. Okay, great. Sue, who is one of the co-hosts from the Two Tangled SKEINS project, Sue, who's one of the co-hosts of the Two Tangled SKEINS podcast, a lovely podcast from Canada, which is hosted by, also co-hosted by LYNNE and sometimes SELMA, a really awesome podcast as well that you should definitely check out. She sent this really adorable, beautiful, well-made, I will say, knotted project bag. Is that what you call it? I don't know. But, the idea is that you take the long handle and put it through here, and then you can just tote it around like that. It's small, but it's perfect for a pair of socks on the go. And yeah, it's just really, really beautiful. And here's her card. So yeah, thank you so much, Sue, for this. This is really beautiful, and yeah, the inside is just natural. I don't know if you see. Yeah, very beautiful. So thank you so much again. And yeah, so congrats again to all the winners, and even if you didn't win anything, congrats. Thank you so much for participating. It's just, yeah, I'm speechless. It was just such a fun knit along, and to see everybody's different takes on it, and just a lot of fun. So yeah, if you want a prize, please contact me, PM me on Ravelry. Please, in the subject line, say that you are a winner of the WILDESMEER knit along, and just let me know your shipping information, and I will get those out to you as soon as I can. So yay, thank you. Okay, so that's one knit along done, over, and we have two more that are currently underway. The second one that's the next one that's coming to a close pretty soon is the Waiting for Rain knit along, which is a shawl pattern designed by Sylvia Bobilvia, a really lovely crescent shaped shawl, and you still have time because the knit along does not end until May 1st. So definitely check out the Ravelry group for information on that, like deadlines and rules and what have you. And the other one that we have underway is the BOXOSOXKAL, which is 12 pairs of socks in 1 year, at least 12 pairs of socks in 1 year, and to have a really cute box put them in. And yeah, at the end of 2017, at the beginning of 2017, I will close the thread, pick a winner, several winners based on, how many, their box of socks and the actual box. There will be a winner for the most creative box that houses your socks. So again, I won't repeat all the rules and everything because I feel like I'm repeating myself every week, but do check the Ravelry thread for all that information. So finished objects. I do not have a finished object this week except for a hoe, which what did I do with it? Where did my hoe go? Okay. Where did my hoe go? And for those of you not familiar about what a hoe is, it's a half object. And here's my hoe for the week. And this is my one of my vestigial socks, and the yarn is the vestigial socks is a free pattern that you can download through hedgehogfibers.com, and it's pretty much just like it's like a simple mistake rib pattern, and very similar to the blueberry waffle socks, I want to say. But yeah, just a really enjoyable potato chip knit. And yeah, I really enjoyed knitting these up. And these are knit with Into the World in the Mildly Amusing colorway, which is a skein of yarn that I purchased at Rhinebeck last year. And yeah, I have just simple cuff down, fish lips kiss heel, and grafted toe. So I really enjoyed working on these. And I'm just gonna hang that here for now. And I have the second sock cast on. All right, and yeah, just a little mustache, to quote Candace from the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast. But yeah, just a little mustache of a cuff, and yeah, I'm using my Addi Turbo Sock Rockets, and I love these. I'm really enjoying these. So far so good. No complaints. US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needles. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying them. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for commenting on the Knitter's Pride Cubics question I had, because I'm on the prowl for a pair of 1.5, US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter cubics circulars, the wooden cubic circulars. I think I just really enjoy knitting with them, the way they feel in my hands. But as far as I know, in the US, they do not make that size in circulars. Although I have been hinted, some of you in Europe have been hinting to me or sending me photos of they make them here, so I'm curious if they make them in that size. But anyway, total tangent again. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying the Addi Turbo Sock Rockets. They're just fun. They feel good in my hands, and they make sock knitting a joy. So having fun with those. Okay, so next up are works in progress. Okay, my hoo-hoo. Isn't it I find it so crazy. I have not put a dent in my Waiting for Rain shawl, and it's crazy because I'm hosting a knit-along for it, but it's one of those things where like it's a lovely pattern, but something else is calling out to me, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I don't know. I don't want to force myself to work on something I'm not totally into when something else is just, calling out to me, like, work on me, like my hoo-hoo. And I really, I mean, right now I feel like I'm in the black hole or the black abyss of this shawl, where it's not a slog. It's just kind of, it's at that part where there are a lot of stitches and it's just back and forth eyelet. And here it is. And this is, the hoo-hoo shawl is a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and I was inspired to cast this on after seeing Sharon from the TV Knitting podcast, another awesome podcast, guys. And yeah, this is out of Hedgehog Fibers in the Urchin colorway. This is my first color that I used. And then the second color is by Fiber Story in her Truffle colorway. And it's just really lovely. It's so fun that it's been my monogamous knit lately. And the contrasting color that I'm going to be using, which kind of puts a little sad damper on it, because guys, I don't know if you heard the news yesterday, but Prince passed away. Very sad. first David Bowie, then Prince. It's not cool. It's not cool, guys. But anyway, I only bring that up because Hedgehog Fibers Purple Rain colorway. Yeah, this is gonna Ode to Prince shawl. I don't know, but yeah, now I'm just gonna be thinking of Prince every time when I get to this colorway. It's just gonna be I'm just gonna listen to Prince on heavy rotation while knitting on this in this colorway. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, but that's my hui. Almost, I feel like I have a couple more rows before I get to switch to the third contrasting color. And yeah, just a really pleasurable knit. And I have my Mika Makes dessert white chocolate stitch marker on there. I love this so much. It's like this is crazy mentality or crazy thinking, but you know, it's like, you know, it's my reward for the end of every row. Like, do one row, but there's chocolate at the end. One row, but there's chocolate at the other end, you know? If that makes any sense. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's not real chocolate, you guys, but, you know, who's to say I don't have a bowl of real chocolate next to me when I'm knitting this? Because I do love chocolate, you guys. Anyway, okay, I'm rambling now. And these are on my Chiagu US, I think, what were these? I think they're Chiagu US 4's 3.5 millimeter needles, and such a delight to knit with. I love these. They're my new faves. You can't go wrong with Chiagus. So they're my Louboutins, you know, of knitting. So anyway, but yeah, that is living in my Alex Collins project bag, which I love. I love this bag, you guys. I almost stuck myself in the eye there, but anyway, I love this bag. It's so awesome. And yeah, it's just so well made and so pretty, and love it. So anyway, that's that. And then the other thing that this week has just been so crazy. I've only been craving like simple knits, you know, nothing that requires too much concentration or anything. But I did bite the bullet, take the plunge, and it's happening, you guys. I cast on another Cozy Memories blanket 2 days ago, and I'm already on square 3. So here's where we are, and I'm doing something a little bit different this time. This time, all the center points, the center lines are going to line up. They're going to all go the same direction. None of this willy-nilly business, you know. But I used Regina from the HERBSTBLATT, I want to say this correctly, HERBSTBLATT Regina podcast, who is another lovely knitting podcast. But this is her method of knitting her mitered squares, or her sock blanket. And it's a 41 stitch cast on, so it's an odd number, 41 stitches. And then before she gets to one stitch before the center stitch, she does a 2 stitch decrease. So you slip 2 stitches as if to knit 1 stitch, and then pass those 2 stitches back over. So you get this really cool braid effect down the center. And on the opposite side, it's knitting until you get to the center stitch, and then purl the middle stitch. And then you get this really neat kind of, center line going on. And let me tell you which yarn this is from. This is from Miss Lavelli of KT of Inside number 23. Another lovely, I'm just name dropping like crazy this week, you guys, podcasts. But anyway, they're really good podcasts, so you should totally check them out. But yeah, KT's is one of my favorites, and we did a swap, and she sent me this really gorgeous skein of fondant fiber. And I have the card somewhere, but she wrote the exact colorway name, but I believe this is like New York City at night. And there's no reason why. It's just, you know, you can totally see why it's my favorite colorway. It has like grays, it has mauves, it has pinks and browns, and I had to cast it on ASAP. So there's that one. And then this is Hedgehog Fibers from my hui shawl in the Urchin colorway. And then I think this is another, I don't know if this is Nina's or another one of KT's, but I know I have another skein that Nina from this old knit, we did a swap, and she sent me a couple of no makers, but I'm not sure. I have to check my my bag of mini skeins, which is ever growing, you guys. But anyway, this is a lovely mint color, and I just like the way these look together. So yeah, I mean, I'm having fun with it. So I haven't decided what I'm going to be doing with my other Cozy Memories blanket. I mean, I have come so far on it. I have to do something with it. So whether it just stays like a strip of something or I turn it into a pillow, I could very well turn it into a pillow. I mean, it would be a very big pillow. If I fold it in half and just kind of graft it along the side, that would be really cool. I just have to add maybe like 2 or 3 more squares and we have a full rectangle that I could convert into a pillow. So I think that's a cool idea. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Or it'll just be a kitty blanket. I don't know. But there's so many cool squares in here. I don't know. I wouldn't want the cat to destroy it. There's a lot of hand spun in here. So no, that's a bad idea, Kristen. This will not be a cat blanket. So maybe a pillow. But yeah, I will figure out something with this. And it's so squishy. Look at that. Anyway. little, yeah. Anyway. Put that over there. Anyway, okay, so works in progress, yada yada. Stash enhancements, because I have some stash to show you. Okay, so this past weekend, I had met up with Sharon from the TV Knitting Podcast, who I have known for quite some time now. We met at Rhinebeck, I want to say like 4 years? 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while, but we've been in touch ever since, and she has a podcast, a really awesome podcast. It started out as audio, and then now she's doing video, and I have to say, she is incredibly inspiring when it comes to spinning and knitting, and it's definitely one of my favorite podcasts to watch, and I'm so happy and glad to call her a friend. And this past weekend, I made a trip up to Poughkeepsie. It's very weird because every time I go up to Poughkeepsie, it's usually with Dennis because he's from there. And, you know, usually if we go up to Poughkeepsie, it's for Rhinebeck or what have you. But this is the first trip I've ever made alone on the train to Poughkeepsie. I've been on a train alone before, but a 2-hour train ride to Poughkeepsie, that was the first for me. And it was just really nice to get out of the city. And it was it took Metro North, so it goes all along the Hudson. It was the Hudson line. So yeah, it goes all around the edge of the Hudson River. So you get a really nice view. And yeah, it was just a nice, relaxing trip up there. And then I met up with Sharon. We went out to lunch, and then we did the walk across the Hudson. They have like this rail trail that they could. It's a rail trail. It's an old railroad that they converted into a walkway that goes all the way across the Hudson, and you get this really magnificent view. And then after that, we checked out Walkway Yarns. Brilliant name, right? So, but yeah, we just had a really, really lovely time. We chatted, I really enjoy Sharon's company, and yeah, it was just really great to get out there and check out this new yarn shop that I spotted last time that I was up visiting with Dennis and my in-laws. I pointed it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a new yarn shop that opened up. And, of course we didn't have time to check it out then, but it was, perfect excuse to check it out this time. And, this woman, KRISTIN, also KRISTIN, but with an E-N, owns the shop, and she also hand dyes yarn, and she owns this, she calls her yarns Mother Frogging. Love the name. It makes me giggle every time I read it because it's hilarious. But this is the yarn I got. She had come back from it was Earth Day, and they had like a whole festival and everything, and she was vending there, and she had just got back, so it was perfect timing that we showed up. We showed up like 15 minutes before it was supposed to close, but we made it, and we talked a little bit, and she's really nice, guys. If you ever find yourself in Poughkeepsie, it's like right off the train station. The shop is right there. And yeah, she's got, it's a cute little shop. She has, her hand-dyed yarns, and then she's got a lot of, she has some Italian brands. She has, some Cascade. She has a lot of really cool sock yarn, and I think she's got a really interesting selection, and a lot of cool notions and everything, but definitely worth the trip up there. But yeah, this one called my name, and here's her logo, Mother Frogging, and this is the Twilight Sheer colorway, and just like, it reminds me of an oil slick, very like blues and purples and grays, and just really, really cool. So I got that, and it is 50% silk and 50% superwash merino, and just really, really cool. And I don't know if you can see it, but her logo has like a little frog in there. little half frog giving me the stink eye. So anyway, really cool. So soft and squishy. And yeah, so I forget what her, if you want to check out her stuff, she's Walkway Wool something on Instagram. I'll post a link in the down bar so you can check out her stuff. But yeah, really, really pretty yarn. I got some also stitch markers, not worth showing, but just basic utilitarian stitch markers. But yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, other than that, you know, after that, I hopped back on the train, met up with Dennis for dinner, and yeah, it was just, as I mentioned, just a really lovely trip, you know, excuse to get out of the city. And yeah, I had a really lovely time. I hope you did too, Sharon. Hi. And again, yeah, if you haven't checked out Sharon's podcast, it's the TV Knitting Podcast. And yeah, Sharon is just lovely. You're awesome. So yeah, that is one stash enhancement. The other one, I guess this will segue into sewing because I've got some sewing to talk about. But Miss Lavelli, I always call her Miss Lavelli, but no, it's KT. But every time I see, you know, I chat with her on Instagram, so her name pops up as Miss Lavelli, so I'm like, Miss Lavelli. But anyway, she is such the enabler. She, you know, she's very inspiring when it comes to sewing as well, because I think she has like the same aesthetic that I do with like retro fashion and, yeah, just, you know, we're definitely riding the same wavelength when it comes to sewing and styles and everything. So, of course, she sent me a photo of this book that she got, which is Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book, and she sent me a photo, and I was like, oh, you know, it was right by my computer, and I have to admit, I had 3 of her books sitting in my cart. I just had no idea which one to purchase. It was Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book. It had to be mine. She sent me the photo, and I was like, it's in my cart right now, and I'm feeling very trigger happy as far as, you know, checking out. So it was a done deal. It was Amazon Prime, was here on my doorstep when I got back from Poughkeepsie. And yeah, making it, my weekend was complete when this showed up. And yeah, so I mean, it's just such a lovely, really fun book. She has a lot of sewing, like obviously sewing tips and tricks and things you should know about fit and how to create a muslin and how to adjust, you know, patterns. Because when you get patterns, not even if you follow the finished garment measurements, it's not like sometimes it's not going to fit your body to a T. You know, it's just they're guidelines. So you have to figure out, okay, these are my measurements, and these are the measurements that they give me. How can I alter this pattern so it will fit me correctly? And this book definitely shows you how to do all that stuff. And she puts it in very, you know, like she makes it very easy to understand, like layman's terms. So highly recommend this book. And there's so many patterns in here, and this is the pattern that this is on my summer sewing list. This is the Red Eyelet halter summer dress. And I already purchased fabric for it. Gray eyelet fabric from Mood. Yeah, it's coming. But how gorgeous is that? I will wear this like every day. It's just so versatile. I could totally see myself making like 20 of them, you know. So yeah, there's so many really cool patterns in here that I should have marked these off beforehand. I don't know why, but Jenny, Tiny Paper Foxes, if you're watching this has your number. Maybe not in this fabric, but Peter Pan collar. Yeah, anyway. Thought that was really cute. It makes me think of you. Okay, maybe not in this fabric, but I really love this plaid rockabilly dress. Obviously, I would pick some different fabric, you know, because I don't know. I can't rock the plaids as well, but I love the shape of the, you know, the bottom of the dress, and I love the neckline. Puff sleeves, I may have to alter that because I'm not a huge puff sleeve fan. This one I love this. This is her sailor dress. This is really cool. But anyway, you get the idea. It comes with a whole bunch of patterns in the back. Very neat. I don't know if you can see that. They're all in there. So yeah, I will post a link to that in the show notes, but highly recommend this if you're into sewing. Even if you're like a newbie sewer, this is really cool to have in your, you know, your library of, you know, sewing books. Yeah, so that was a really cool buy, and yeah, very excited about it. And I think that is it for, oh, no. Some my other patterns from McCall's came because I also purchased some patterns. They were having a sale, as I mentioned last week, and I figured, you know, why not? They're like $4 each, and, you know, instead of me printing out paper, cutting everything out, they're, you know, the patterns are already printed out and you can just go from there. But I thought, since Dennis and I are going on vacation at the end of May, I thought I would get like a really cute beach cover-up type thing that I could sew really quickly. So there's this one, which is, what is it? It's very easy, apparently. We'll see. M6744. I wish they would name these. I don't know, there's no... Can't they like name it something else, like something more creative? But anyway, I could see making all of these versions, like especially this one I really love. But yeah, this would be so cute for, you know, the beach, whatever. I have a lot of jersey fabric that in my stash that I can pull from. And then this one I am so in love with. You guys, how awesome is that? I don't know, I could probably pull off a back like that. I just don't bode well with like open backs a lot because, number one, the bra issue, but I'm sure if I can alter it to fit my bust line, I won't have a problem with the back issue, whatever. But that's a side project. But anyway, I'm rambling. But this one is a vintage pattern. It's V2960. And yeah, I think it was originally $25. It's a $25 pattern. I got it on sale for way less. I forget how much it was exactly, but yeah, again, they were having a sale. I could not resist. So there's that one. And then this one is really cool as well. Again, another supposedly easy pattern, V8577. And this is by Vogue. I think Vogue and McCall's are all under the same umbrella. So yeah, it was from the same site. But I really, really love this shape. Like this one in particular. I think this one and this one are the same. But anyway, totally going to make these. Cannot wait. Very excited. Yay! But I am definitely putting together like a summer sew list. So those are definitely on the list. And then there's also the I think it's called the Lonsdale dress by I think it's also another Colette pattern. Or no, it might be Sewaholic. I think it's a Sewaholic pattern, but that's the one where it's like a halter with the neckline or the straps that go like that, and it's like a little knot here. I showed it off last week. But yeah, so yeah, other than that, I think, you know, if you guys are into, I don't know, like should we do a sew along or something? Or maybe a summer sew along. Let's do a summer sew along. If you guys are interested in sewing at all, you know, share your list of patterns that you want to sew this for summer or this summer, and let's do it. Let's share projects. Let's share tips and what have you. Let's make this fun. So I'm going to create a thread for that. Yeah, summer sew along. Let's do it. It's still spring, so, you know, there's time. I haven't, obviously, I'm just thinking about this right now, so I haven't really thought out logistics, but I'm sure I will flesh them out. But in the meantime, summer sew along. Let's do this. Just, I guess, like, the ideal, you know, the gist of it is to create a handmade summer wardrobe. Spring/summer. Anyway, yeah. Yay, projects. Okay, so there's that. First, let's talk about what I am wearing. You might recognize this if you've been watching the podcast, but this is my Anna dress. This is Anna dress, I believe, Anna dress number 3. And yeah, I have to say, this is one of my favorite dresses to wear. And I don't know, it's just so satisfying when I can't say that about all the outfits that I've sewn, but this is definitely one of those dresses where it's like, I know I'm going to wear it over and over and over again. And it makes it's just such a cool feeling, you know, like the fact that I made this and it's going to get a lot of wear. And yeah, so definitely one of my favorite pieces that I've made. It's out of double gauze. I don't remember the exact manufacturer of the pattern or the, what do you call it? The design or the graphics on the fabric. I'm totally blanking on that. But anyway, the pattern is the Anna dress, as I mentioned, by hand London. Definitely, I would say it's an easy pattern, and yeah, just some minimal dartage. Dartage, is that a term? I don't know, but some darts and pleats. There are pleats in the front, this is gonna be awkward. Pleats in the front and then darts in the back. So it's definitely like if you're a newbie sewer, it's definitely a nice gateway drug into, so to speak, into just learning how to sew darts and pleats, and you know, it's just very well put, and the fact that the top is just all one piece makes it all, you know, a breeze. So, you know, there's that. That's my opinion on it. So yeah, but other than that, I'm going to talk about what I have been sewing. And this is a pattern that I've been wanting to make since I went to Brooklyn General with a couple of friends, and I saw one of the busts. They were wearing the macaron dress, a pattern by Colette Patterns, which is a really awesome company. They have a lot of cool designs. But I think this is the first Colette design that I have sewed, and yeah, so I had a little snafu. I posted a photo of this on Instagram a couple of days ago, and I was very excited. It was going really, really well, and then I fudged something up royally. Well, not too bad, but I'm sure I could fix it, but I don't have that kind of skill set yet. So I just decided to start over. But here, let me show you the first version. So this is chambray, which is a gray. It's not denim, but it's 100% cotton, and yeah, it's just got a very like denim-y kind of appearance to it, and yeah, just some lace that I picked up from Brooklyn General when I was there, and yeah, again, like just they touted it as like an intermediate pattern, but again, because I knew how to do the darts, you know, thanks to the Anna dress, I knew how to do the darts, I knew how to add the waistline. It was just so easy to come together, but my downfall was I added some bias tape to the neckline, and when I pulled it over my head, it's a little snug to pull over my head, so I was like, well, it would really benefit from a keyhole closure in the back. So I tried adding a keyhole closure in the back, which looks great, you know. I warped the, you know, with the iron, I kind of warped the tape, the bias tape a little bit, so it would create this kind of like keyhole and put like a little button right there. But the way I cut the keyhole out, I actually made like a little teardrop, where the tutorial that I was following just said to make a slit. Little did I know, just the slit would have been enough to create that little keyhole effect. I cut out the actual teardrop, and that kind of warped the actual fit of the top, and I was just kind of like, what did I do? And anyway, so cut my losses, started over again, but this time I'm so glad I did, because I did everything so much better than the first time around. But here it is, the second time. I still have to set in the sleeves. So here it is. Yay. And the only thing I did differently is I added a lace panel to the midriff portion of it, so it has like a nice contrast effect. So very excited about this, you guys. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel like once this is actually done and I'm wearing it, because normally this is not a shape I would go for. It has a very it's a very curvy look. If you've ever seen it, I will try and post a photo of it here, but it's a very curvy dress. I'm not a very curvy person per se, but it definitely has, and plus, like, I'm not used to having the waistline so high up. It has kind of like an empire waist a little bit, if I can describe it as that. You know, the contrasting band comes up here, then the sweetheart up here, sweetheart shape neckline up here, and then it just kind of flares out at the bottom with pockets on, you know, near the tummy. And I don't know, I tried on, I have the bottom for it, which I will show you here. So that's all done. It's just a matter of me finishing the top and then connecting it to here. But again, it has a lot of darts and pleats, and pockets too, as I mentioned. So here's the inside. I'm geeking out over the inside construction again, you guys, because it's just amazing what you can do with the serger. I am having so much fun with it. But yeah, I have the pockets here, and then on here, the pockets are kind of like hidden or disguised as pleats. So this will be the front. But yeah, it will essentially come up to here. So if I wrap it around, you can see, and the zipper will be on the side. So yeah, the pockets come up here. pink. So if you can imagine, the contrasting strip will be here, and then the Sweetheart fabric will be up there. So yeah, again, this is not a shape that I would normally go for, but I kind of like it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure like if it's actually going to fit me correctly, I will love it. So there's that. And yeah, the other thing that I'm always geeking out over is the innards, or the inside construction, which I will just show you guys because it makes me so happy. So there we go. And again, the serger, oh, I love this. It's just so genius. Yeah, and here are the darts. I actually got like this really cool chalk pen. It's a pink pen with like a little not rotary, just like a little rotating blade on it. It won't slice your fabric, but it has like these little nubs on it, but it creates these really cool like visible lines when you are sewing, and you can follow the line when you're sewing your darts so you know where you're going. And here's the back. So yeah, and yeah, sleeves. The sleeves, I'm having a little, well, I'm okay setting in the sleeves. I actually really enjoy setting in sleeves. I had a blast doing that with my Ultimate wrap dress. But these sleeves you have to shape a little more with, they're supposed to have like a subtle, like puff to them, or subtle gather to them, and I'm not too crazy about that. I'm trying to finagle it a little bit so I can just set them in without the extra little puff, because I don't really do puff sleeves so much. But anyway, if not, we'll try it out. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. I'm super excited about it, you guys. I love, I'm having so much fun with sewing. You have no idea. I guess you can tell by this point, I'm just hooked. But anyway, so I think that is it for what's on my sewing machine, or like what I've been doing. Let me check my show notes just to be sure. BOXOSOXKAL, yeah, we talked about that. Okay, so that is it for sewing, as I just mentioned. Let's move on to Ask Away, which is a thread in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. If you have a question about anything of or pertaining to me, the show, knitting, sewing, spinning, dyeing, leave the question there, and I will, answer as many as I can on the show or right there in the thread. So I just pulled these from that thread, and ST Kong7 on Ravelry asks, "Hi, will you have another yarn club sign up?" As you know, I'm currently dyeing yarn. I'm currently in the midst of a yarn club for the Edward Gorey inspired yarn club that I call the Gorey Details. So I just sent out the second installment, and then we have another month, and then after that's over, that'll leave me time to think about another yarn club that I want to do. So no definite date there, or theme. No definite date or theme as to when I'm going to have another yarn club, but it's definitely in the cards. So hang tight. You'll hear it first when I do. So yay. Okay. And the next question is from Penny Gale. She wants to know, how did your cat Bella choose you and your husband to be her humans? Okay. So I love telling this story because I love my cat to death, and she's like my child. But anyway, Dennis and I had been wanting to get a pet. I had been a sworn dog person, before I met Dennis, or right before we got Bella. And Dennis had been a cat person, and living in the city, while we wanted to get a pet, we realized, okay, it's not fair to keep a dog inside a small apartment back when we were living in our other place. And we don't have time to really go out on walks and play with it, and it would just be mean if we were to get a dog. So, but at the same time, we still wanted a pet. And Dennis was like, give cats a chance, give them a try. The only problem was that I still think I am mildly allergic to cats. Anytime she scratches me or plays with me, playfully scratches me, I will, my skin will puff up and itch. If I pet her and then touch my eye will just start itching. But, the dander in general does not affect me now, because I think I've built up an immunity to it. But anyway, that's a side note. But yeah, we have friends with cats, and I had been hanging around when we go to hang out with our friends, their cats would be around, and I would be fine unless I noticed like I would pet them and touch my eye. Otherwise, it was totally fine. So we decided that yeah, let's do it. Let's get a cat. But we decided we wanted one, and it was just a matter of when, whatever. But one day Dennis had been walking by a pet store, and they were having an adoption, and you know, he came home and he's like, oh my gosh, you know, we have to go check out this pet store. They're having an adoption. They have a lot of, you know, a lot of cute cats. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, you know, because I love kitties. And so we walked back to the pet store, and as soon as we walked in, he had been staring at this other cat, which was this giant orange cat, and you know, he thought it was the coolest thing ever. And you know, but as soon as I walked in, I did a beeline to Bella. I saw her. She was beautiful, like sitting by the window. You know, she's so tiny at the time, you know, but this little black fluffy puffball, very elegant, like with her tail and everything. She reminded me of the Chat Noir cat poster, if you've ever seen them. So I saw her sitting in the cage, and then this family that was there, one of their kids went up to the cage and took her out and started holding her. And I just started looking at this kid. I'm like, put her down, put her down, put her down. And finally, when he put her down, I didn't grab her, but you know, I picked her up and just held her, and she was the sweetest cat ever. Like, she would just let me hold her, you know, she let me pet her. Dennis came over, and you know, we were just petting with her and playing with her, and she's just so sweet. And I don't think I put her down for like 45 minutes. And another couple walked in, and they saw, you know, they were looking at the cats, and they noticed that I was just holding her, and they're like, you're not leaving here without that cat. I was like, no, I'm not. So but I couldn't just do that, you know. Obviously we had to you know, talk to the people, fill out some forms, and then they wanted references. And you know, so we gave them the number of, you know, our family our family members, and then, you know, a friend or whatever who we cat sat for before. And you know, we left, and then as soon as we got home, we did a walk home, they called us and said, you have your cat. I'm like, yay. So we were so excited. And she, you know, they brought her over that night, and that's how we got Bella. She's 1.5. We don't know her entire history, but she was, you know, in very good shape when we got her, when she came to us. And she was spayed. She had all her shots and everything. The animal rescue place that we adopted her from, they're very good. You know, they chip them and everything, and they make sure they're all good to go before they send them, you know, off to families. And they're called the Muddy Paws was the pet store that they had the adoption thing, but Empty Cages Collective is the adoption agency. And if you're curious, I will post a link to them, because they're great. And you know, if you have any questions, they give you references, they give you their the cat's medical forms and everything. So you know, we have all that on file and everything. And yeah, it was just a really awesome day to get a cat, and we love her. So yeah, thank you for asking. And yeah, I would say, like, it took me about a week to get over the initial allergy or reaction. Like, I definitely noticed, like, my allergies acting up, but after a week, it just died down. So, that was very awesome that happened. So, because I was just glued to this cat. And, yeah, so anyway, yeah, that said, that is Ask Away this week. Again, just leave some questions in there in the Ravelry thread, and I will, you know, do my best to answer them as I get to them. But the other thing I do want to mention is we are coming up on our 200th episode of YarnGasm, and we're still several episodes away, but, you know, just I created a thread for the 200th episode where it's like an Ask Me Anything. You can ask more questions there if you're new to the podcast and, you know, you want to know something, or just have suggestions what you would like to see on the podcast. Just leave them all, you know, in there, and I will, you know, again, do my best to answer them on the 200th episode. So yay, awesome. Excuse me. Okay, shop update. I am not having a shop update today. Today's Friday. The normal day I usually have an update. So because it's been such a crazy week, I am pushing my update to Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope you can make it. Sorry for the mix-up that it won't happen today. But yes, I will have lots of yarn in the shop. And let me show you some of those. So we will have some of the usual suspects. We will have Stellar Banshee. We will have, I'm going to put those over here for now. We will have Reflector. This is a colorway I have not dyed up in a while, but it's one of my first colorways that I really loved. It's actually inspired by Arcade Fire, one of their album. Their album is called Reflector, and these are the colors on the cover of the album, or the record, and I just love it. So anyway, here it is on Blitzed. And then we will have some Neptunia. This is it on Volca. And then we will have some Mermania. This is dyed on my Nouveau base, which I brought back. This is a superwash, 100% superwash merino single ply fingering, and yeah, I don't know why I stopped dyeing it, because I guess I was excited about playing with other bases, but this is definitely one of my, I know I've been knitting a lot with singles lately, and a lot of you have, so I decided to bring it back. I love dyeing on it too, so, but this is Mermania. And then I will have some Venus Flytrap. This is it on Footsie, which is 80% superwash, blue-faced Leicester, and then 20% nylon. So excellent sock yarn. I will have some Tega, which is a colorway I don't dye too often, but I had a custom order, so I just decided to dye up a bunch of it. So here it is on Volca. It's kind of like a brown, like a very muted brown, beige slash lavender, I want to say. Lots of colors, subtle colors going on in there. So I don't know, but okay. Then we have Ode to Peach, Ode to a Pear, which is a very popular colorway now as well. And then we will have I Am No Bird, which is my Jane Eyre inspired colorway. So it has like a lot of speckles in there as well. And then this is a new colorway that I dyed up this week, which I'm very excited about. And it's very summery, but this is Beach Bum. It just reminds me, it has like a lot of neon pops in there, but like with a sandy pink undertone to it, and lots of pink. I don't know, it just reminds me of like toenails on the beach and crazy sunscreen. It just reminds me of the word beach bum, or the term beach bum, so that's what I named it. And this is it on Blitzed. And then here it is on Nouveau, my singles. So yeah, so I obviously have more to dye. The reason why I'm not having a shop update today is because I don't have enough to put in the shop this week, so I'm gonna dye some more today, more over the weekend, and then yeah, just have a big shop update on Monday. So I hope you can make it. Again, Monday, April 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so I think that is it for this week. So I will just move along to Blather, which is where I talk about what's going on in my life. So what has been going on in my life? I'm trying to think. It's just a lot of craziness trying to get orders out. Voting day was on Tuesday, so I went out and voted. I hope if you live in the States, you voted as well. And that was exciting, and I got a sticker, which was really fun. I mean, you can't beat a sticker. This weekend, we are actually going to visit our niece and nephew, Dennis's family, for Passover. And yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun. It's been a while since we've seen our niece and nephew, and we miss them. So yeah, it'll be really good to see them. And I'm trying to think what else. Other than that, the weather has just been really lovely. It's warm out right now. I had the window closed. Otherwise I would, normally I would have the window open, but it was kind of loud outside, so I shut it. But like the trees are sprouting. There's greenery finally, and I cannot wait, you guys. I know a lot of you are kind of bummed about it not being sweater weather anymore, but I love spring. I love spring and summer. It's just, yeah. I love it. Anyway, I'll write a love song or something. I don't know. But anyway. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much what's going on here. I really need to clean my office. I know back there looks kind of sane, but in front of me right now and off to the side, I need to do some spring cleaning, which is pretty much what we've been trying to do these past few weeks. And it's been, little by little, but it's definitely something that has to get done. So that's definitely on my agenda this week. But otherwise, I think that is it. So that said, happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.